And Gene, in your latest piece for the Washington Post entitled "The Wreckage That Joe Biden Might Inherit in November," you write in part this: "No one should take for granted that Trump will lose to Joe Biden in November. But the more likely this result appears to be, the more clearly we can see the wreckage that Biden would inherit. Trump's tenure has been a disaster all along, but as Election Day approaches, things are getting worse, with long-term implications that are dire. With our schools now opening willy-nilly, without a national strategy in place or even in the works, there's no chance that the novel coronavirus will simply go away as Trump fantasizes. So Biden's first and biggest challenge, if he wins, may be to take the decisive and effective action against COVID-19 that Trump has neglected. Biden would inherit not just a continuing economic crisis, but perhaps a worsening health crisis as well. He would also be left with a social crisis. Cities across the nation are still rocked by the Black Lives Matter protests over police violence and systemic racism. None of the harm that Trump has done to the nation will automatically repair itself if Biden wins. The incoming administration would have to deal with a acute crisis on top of acute crisis. The only worst prospect is the unthinkable. Trump wins. And Gene, it's hard to put into words, even, when I think about the work that my dad did and many like him. Yeah. Geostrategic relationships that take 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, so much has been just torn down in an instant.
It is amazing. It is what a toddler can do to the Lego construction that his older brother or sister has painstakingly built over the course of hours, and then it just gets knocked over. And that's just what's happened with this president and all these structures. I feel so sorry for just the memory of your father and all that he did, and how much of that has just been sort of blown away and neglected and forgotten. And Brent Scowcroft just passed the other day. Thought of that when he died. But look, if Biden wins, he inherits these three huge overlapping crises of the economy, the pandemic, and Black Lives Matter. I mean, he gets those. And it almost seems as if Trump, in some instances, is unwittingly and in some instances wittingly making all these crises worse than they have to be. And it's going to be a mess that the next administration, and one hopes there is a next administration, because if it's another Trump administration, I can't imagine where we would be 4 years later. But if it's a Biden administration, the mess that's going to have to be cleaned up is huge, and it's going to take time and effort and resources that otherwise I'm sure a new administration would want to spend, in enacting a program and moving us forward. Just to get us back to point zero, it's going to take a whole lot of work, because we are in the hole right now.
Up next, how to crush coronavirus until vaccines arrive. Dr. Michael Osterholm joins us with his new piece. Keep it right here on Morning Joe.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.